Yo, what is up, guys? It is Shinobi here, and today we are going to be talking about the Poppy Playtime Chapter 5 drama. So, quite frankly, I am highly disappointed in all of this because I just don't understand why people are complaining. I mean, yeah, people are going to complain. I am aware of that. But what's a, what good is it going to do? It just makes you look like the clown and everything. And I'm just not even sure how people could just be this low to bully a company over one minor detail. And that minor detail is Lily Love Braids. I don't understand why people think that just because they don't like one character, the whole entire game is ruined. They're acting like this is the main character or the hero or anything. This isn't going to affect the gameplay or how good it is. So, I am genuinely unsure of what to think of all of this. So, as far as we know, a lot of people will say that they don't like the designs, which is okay and all, but do they have to ruin the fun for everyone? This doesn't make a lot of sense if you think about it, because there's been a lot of Poppy Playtime controversies in the past that they have very well made up for, and people just like to hold a grudge. I mean, I just feel like the internet has become Twitter, because if you make one mistake, you'll just be it'll just be held against you forever. So, what exactly are we doing? Like, what is going on? Also, this stream, it will be a little slow paced. I will keep I will have to let you guys know that, but to be fair, I am I am kind of on a slow run right now, and so far I only got, let's see, I don't even got any viewers. So yeah, I'm not even sure how this is gonna go on, but we can only we can only try by taking a look at the at what we know and everything else. Some fans were complaining that the fifth chapter, was actually too early or too late. And in my opinion, this is the perfect time, because if we hold on any longer, then who knows what will happen. This could be sort of like a GTA 6 scenario where it'll take years to come out. And I understand good things are worth waiting for, but some things take longer than they should, and some things are not long enough to be considered effort, like having any effort. Too many people just have no reason to complain these days, but feel like they should. I I just don't understand. I really don't. Also, to make sure you guys are still, well, to make sure you guys are watching this, type E in the chat. All right. Currently, right now, what I'm doing is I'm using this tool called UE Editor for Chapter 4, and in 3 days, they have a plan. Uh, the people who made this mod pack have a plan to go over all the chapters and fix them. And by fix them, like add these tools, and also make sure that the out of date plugins of all these tools and sandbox material things, like all these tools and coding, will be able to be. Let's see, how do I explain this? They will update the tools so that way you can have fun with them in the previous chapters. And I'm really hoping for the best, because a lot of people are assuming the worst is going to happen. I don't know, though. People just don't know when to quit, I guess. Got this little dude right here. Whoops. That wasn't what I was trying to do. But looky there. At least all the rubble's gone. What? Ah, no, no, no. And I know it's dead in here, but so was the chat. All right, change of plans, everyone. Instead, we're actually gonna go over these these videos and react to them, kind of, because we need to make sure that we can get a good hold on everything. So, Mob Entertainment has been going under a lot of fire just because people disagree with the design choice and everything. And I I cannot be more disappointed in everyone, in anyone than these people. Just like how I'm disappointed with most people that complain. Like it's it's not right. It really isn't. I just don't know what to say. Real quick, I'm gonna get the video up. Theater mode. All right. Let's see. Window mode. And it's a little too big, so let's fit to the screen. All right. All right. So let's just skip ahead real quick. So this character, Lily Lovebraids, is apparently hated by the fans because of her design, and people should realize this was a surprise. Oh, and I didn't even notice Baby Longlegs is over there. So, yeah, and we also got a lot of comments and stuff like that, which we are going to be reading. All right. Prototype not having a voice of his own is a bit of mish and mash. Rest in peace, Jim. You were waiting for Poppy Playtime for forever. It's so unfair. Who's Jim? What? Okay. All right, so this one says they hope they have an unsettling chapter February 18th and everything. And Rumi from Hunter X. Supposed to be a K-pop Demon Hunters reference, I guess. Please don't be buggy on launch. Don't jinx it. Yeah. Uh, Hang on a sec. Maybe I can. Maybe right here we can. All right. I'll also be closing my chat, and I won't be looking at it right now. All right. So sad news for all fans. This is a minute long, so I'm not even sure. All right. So this video is from Sheep Rampage. Now, uh, like all you really have to do is just look at the channel, and then you can see him, I guess. All right, now let me fit this to the screen and skip this ad. All right. I'm just hoping that this doesn't go too far. All right, here we go.
The developers have responded to the recent Chapter 5 drama in a way that gives fans a lot more hope about the game that you're gonna want to see, along with some other last-minute Chapter 5 news we're gonna go over today. So first off, CG5, who is releasing a Chapter 5 song with Mob Entertainment themselves here on February 20th, released a final teaser for the song showing a Crafty Corn plush holding a floppy disk with the song, only for it to be taken by the prototype. And with this fun little trailer, we got a pre-save link for the song itself, revealing its cover featuring a wrong side Audimal in the hand of the prototype. And while this doesn't inherently mean that much, it is interesting that while these characters seemed like they were going to be very minor, kind of like this chapter's equivalent to the mini critters, the fact that this song is seemingly going to be centered around the wrong side Audimal characters tells me that they might have a much bigger lore importance than we maybe first thought. In another new update, today as I'm recording this is Valentine's Day. So as we expected,
happy late Valentine's Day to my fans.
Last Chapter 5 art piece right here, showing on one half what looks like Poppy surrounded by poppy flowers while also holding a different red flower.
He also has a scar, I noticed.
And on the other, we see the prototype, who appears to be holding a new white flower of his own. Now, these flowers in both of their hands were theorized and later confirmed to be oleander flowers, which clearly are meant to symbolize something, and from what I've seen online, they
like Ollie. Ollie the prototype. Now I get it.
To both represent beauty and attraction, but also represent danger and fate at the same time. And judged from the flower and its multiple meanings, I can only assume them both holding it is meant to represent the duality of good and evil. Poppy hopefully being the good one, and the prototype being the evil one. The artist Amber did in fact confirm that the point of this art was to hide some deep symbolism, so let me know what you guys think.
Alright.
We also got one final developer update from the lead level designer
Jeffrey
Kung, who made a post on his LinkedIn regarding the newest Chapter 5 trailer, saying, "Okay y'all, get hyped. Our gameplay trailer for Poppy Playtime Chapter 5, Broken Things, just dropped. I'm so excited for this release, our best one yet. And furthermore, well, you'll all find out soon. Very soon." Also responding to a fan that said they were excited to see Lily Lovebrains. For sure, she has a ton of ... Well, you'll see. So a small but
did this guy just say brains?
Of ... to see Lily Lovebrains. For sure.
Yeah, he said brains.
She has a ton of ... Well, you'll see. So a small but very intriguing teaser. I've even seen some people interpret this message as teasing that there will be a chapter 6. Who knows? But
Really
moving
hope
on
there's
from
not.
that, now let's finally revisit the chapter 5 drama. So in my last video, I discussed that there has been a lot of discussions around the final chapter 5 gameplay trailer,
Yes.
with two main criticisms leaving fans a little bit worried. One, that Lily Love Braids was an overall bad design that didn't look like it fit into Poppy Playtime, nor was it scary. And two, that the game's environments looked similar to like Garten Banban, and like the developers were trying to make the game overly vibrant and colorful.
Well, kind of like the Pyrovision vibes.
With areas like the dollhouse, for instance, removing the creepy aesthetic from the game that we've known to love. And while I responded to this drama myself in my previous video, the developers themselves have finally came out and gave us some clarification on all of this. Specifically, the developer Toby, who was in the Poppy Playtime Discord chat and said a few various things. So first off, somebody had said to Toby, Lily won't be like Mommy, right? Because she literally sounds and does the same things as Mommy Longlegs in the trailer, which is a comparison a lot of people have been making between the two. And he
I wouldn't put it past them.
saying, Mommy is like a mother and Lily is like a Lily, you know? So a kind of funny, unserious response that I guess could be interpreted as him saying that they are in fact different, but he gets a little bit more serious when somebody asks him, do you think the bubbly, playful sort of look ends up paying off? I think it has some of us worried.
Wait, hang on a sec. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Just checking out something.
Referencing the aforementioned vibrance of the newest chapter, which Toby responded to saying, you haven't even seen a quarter of the game, what you guys on about? And this is kind of the problem with people making such huge judgments about things like the game's entire environment with something as small as a trailer, because he is right.
That's what I was
like,
saying.
A majority of the environments in the game we're gonna see aren't going to be included in the trailer.
Yeah,
and
this is
that's
just a
also
small
probably
taste.
where the duller moments lie as well, because obviously a trailer is meant to market the game, and therefore they're going to be more inclined to show the more intense and unique moments in the trailer rather than maybe the duller lore focused parts of the game. So this is a good sign in my opinion.
Why do we browse like this? Hunting.
Somebody also added onto this with a specific screenshot of the trailer saying, this looks something straight out of Garten Banban. Another common complaint
Looks
about
better
the
than
game.
Banban.
And Toby responded, oh, that part. Yeah, it makes sense in the lore, but you don't know about it yet. So again, another great thing to hear from Toby, that these kinds of places have a specific reason for existing in the lore. My best guess is that similar to Playcare, which had a similar colorful aesthetic, the children that were kept down in the labs were maybe using this as some kind of playground to keep them distracted while the other ones were being experimented on. And a reason like that would totally explain these kinds of areas existing. So I guess we'll see. Toby also made another comment regarding this here when he said, our games have always had that toy-etic feel to them, because, well, it's part of the lore related to using kids for experimenting, which supports what I previously said. Next, Toby responded to the critiques around Lily Love Braid's design when
Higher UX. Allowed answer of your opinion.
someone asked him, hi, are you allowed to answer if in your opinion you think Lily looks better inside of the actual game? In the trailer, she looks really greasy, which might be where all the complaints are coming from with the design looking fake, which I guess is a true point. She does kind of have a weird shine to her. Although Toby responded to this with more good news, saying, compression can make stuff look worse. In my personal opinion, the model in-game looks way better and detailed. So hopefully Toby is right on that, and once we see her in game, we'll get to appreciate her visually a lot more. Another reason for people hating on this design that I've seen some point out that actually makes a lot of sense is that we also originally saw Lily like a couple months ago from the legs down in the Welcome Home cinematic trailer, which kind of gave people a lot of time to make up in their...
I mean, let's be honest, this concept art is not bad. I prefer this, but like, if I don't think they're gonna add this concept art, but I like it better. But it's not a big deal because beggars can't be choosers. Like, For real. Like, why are people just making such a big deal out of this one character?
Their own mind, what they wanted her to look like, and even some created their own designs for her that probably built up these expectations for what she could
I
look
was
like.
hoping she'd
only for
add
them to
sleeves,
not
though,
be
too.
met.
Like, the fan-made one would add sleeves or something like that. Kind of making this like a t-shirt dress.
What they wanted her to look like, and even some created their own designs for her that probably built up these expectations for what she could look like, only for them to not be met. Now, that's pretty much all he
Overalls.
said related to the drama. However, he did give a couple other minor updates. Like here, when he was asked if he liked the game, he simply said that it's his favorite so far, which is a great thing to hear.
Nice.
And here, when somebody asked him what was up with the red monster, who we saw teased in the ARG but was notably absent from the trailer, he simply responded saying, "Who?" keeping the mystery on who they are. And another interesting Discord update was when somebody asked the developer Spencer if the current Chapter 5 banner with the prototype holding the poppy head was going to be the final banner for the game, or if they were going to update it like they did with Chapter 4, which featured various different characters. He said that he updated it to be higher quality, but other than that, yeah. So unfortunately, no new banner this time around, although I do like this one. But overall,
That makes a
speaking
lot of
on the
sense.
drama for probably the last time, huge shout out to Toby for responding to pretty much everything that people were complaining about, and with a lot of good news. Again, we won't know how the game plays until we play it, for better or worse, but I think this should at least calm most skeptical fans down until release, and understand that what we see in the trailer is just the trailer, and how good it ends up being will be dependent on what happens when Chapter 5 finally drops. Unless something big happens, this is probably it for my pre-Chapter 5 coverage. I thank you guys for sticking around, and I'll see you guys when the game releases.
All right. So, yeah, I do gotta say this does look bad. Like, not the what you call it, the game, but the drama looks really, really bad. And apparently we got a price reveal on the 5th chapter. So let's take a look at that and see what we can do. So this video is from Panino Tube International. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. And this is it.
Hey friends, and welcome to this new video. Today we're back to talk about Poppy Playtime Chapter 5, the new upcoming chapter, and in this video we're focusing on a topic I know you care a lot about, the price of the game. A few days ago
In my honest opinion, it should be free for everyone who bought the previous chapters.
already made a video where we talked about the possible price of Chapter 5. Now the situation is different. We're getting closer and closer to the official release date, which is February 18, and thanks to the most recent updates, we can have much stronger confirmations. In today's video, I'll show you these updates directly. We'll look at the price that now seems to have been confirmed. Not only that, we'll also check the price of the game in every country where it will be available, because as you know, the cost can change depending on the region, and there are some interesting differences worth talking about. But we will not talk only about the price. We'll also analyze other details and small secrets related to Poppy Playtime Chapter 5. There have been recent movements that suggest something is really being prepared for the imminent release. And I want to show you everything carefully so we can think about it together.
Alright.
We're just a few days away from February 18. The wait is almost over. According to Mob Entertainment, this will be the best chapter of the series, and if these are the premises, expectations are definitely high. Before we begin, as always, make sure to leave a like if you're hyped for Chapter 5 and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. In these days, I'll be bringing
I'll leave a
more
like, but
updates,
I won't subscribe until something catches my eye.
analysis, and details about the game, so turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. With that said,
Okay, so
let's
this
get
looks
started and
fan-made
see
right
what's
here.
going on with the price of Poppy Playtime Chapter 5. Let's go. To talk more concretely about the prices though, we need to move over to EpicDB. EpicDB is basically the equivalent of SteamDB, but dedicated to Epic Games Store titles. And this is important.
I mean, they're
Because
both the
Poppy
same
Playtime
kind of.
Chapter 5 will not only release on Steam, but it will also be available on the Epic Games Store. so it makes sense to check both platforms to see if there are differences or confirmations. On EpicDB, we can see some details that are normally not visible on the public store page. We're talking about technical updates, internal changes, modifications that aren't always announced but are still tracked in the database.
Okay, let's
the
see.
Epic Games page for Chapter 5 was updated 4 days ago. We're not talking about a small tweak, but a series of updates that really look like the final ones before the official release. The new trailer has been added, the new screenshots are there, and even the header image has been updated with the lighting effects. Now the page is more complete to prepare the launch of the game. This makes us think that the Epic Games page has now reached its final pre-launch version. When a store page gets polished with trailers, updated images, and visual details, it usually means we're truly at the end of the road before release. But there's one key detail. Among all these changes, there has been no modification to the price. No update, no variation, no last-minute adjustment, and that's a very clear signal. It means that the prices we saw in the previous videos have not been touched, they haven't been changed, they haven't been corrected. And when we're this close to the release date, it's very unlikely that anything will be changed at the last second, especially after everything else on the page has been finalized. As a result, we can say with a good level of confidence that those prices are the final ones. So now we can get a much clearer idea of how much Poppy Playtime Chapter 5 will cost in the different countries and start getting ready for launch day. We're no longer talking about guesses or speculation, but about data that, at this point, looks confirmed. Now I will show you the full list of the prices, so you can see the right price for your country.
Right, let's see. Apparently it's a sandbox. Alright. Alright, so speculated to be $19.99 for United States. For Africa pricing region, it will be a little cheaper. Oceania will have the same. Argentina will be $8.99. CIS $8.99 as well. And Latin America will be $7.99. Central and Middle East Asia will be $9.29. Bahrain, quite pricing region seems to be $14.39. Southeast Asia $6.49, which by far is the cheapest that we got at the moment. The rest of the world pricing region $19.99. Australia, wow, it's actually more expensive in Australia, $27.99. Hello, Kryberg, welcome to the stream. Brazil will have, actually, never mind. Brazil's more expensive at this point. It will be $52. Actually, never mind. Like I can't really say that it will be expensive because these prices like converted are different, but like they're still pretty expensive. In other countries, like you get paid more in numbers or less in numbers in certain countries, but it's worth more. And then Switzerland's got a lot of that too, with China having 62 yen, which is $8.97. And we got Colombia and stuff. Yeah, a lot of these are cheap. And with Japan, we got 1,098 yen, which is basically $12.96 in American currency. Sorry. Well, I'm not gonna name the rest because there's way too many. Even though you're Ukraine, though, but like, yeah.
We've just looked at the prices based on the different countries where the game will be available. However, there's an important detail we need to keep in mind. Otherwise, there could be some confusion.
Hang on, guys. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, everyone. So, here we go.
On release day.
All right,
The
prices and
prices we
taxes.
saw on EpicDB do not include taxes. This means that in some countries, when the game officially launches, the final price could be slightly higher than what we've just seen because taxes will be added at checkout. For example, in my country, the final price will probably be about €2 higher than the one listed on EpicDB, simply because taxes will be applied during the purchase process.
Right.
We're not talking about a huge difference, but it's good to know this in advance, so nobody is surprised when they see the final total. Now, let's make this comparison. If we take the price of Poppy Playtime Chapter 5 on EpicDB and compare it to the price of Chapter 4,
build a website you love with Wix, where your words,
which is also visible on the same site, we can notice something very clear. The price is exactly the same. And this is not something we should take for granted.
Yeah.
If we think back to the previous chapters, each new chapter usually cost a little bit more than the one before it.
That's
There
true.
was always a small increase from one chapter to the next. It almost became a pattern over time. But this time, Mob Entertainment made a different choice. They did not raise the price. They decided to keep it the same as Chapter 4. And this is really great news for all of us. It means that despite the hype, despite the promises that this will be the best chapter in the series, there has been no price increase compared to the previous chapter. In a time when many games are becoming more expensive, seeing a stable price is definitely something positive. So to sum it up, yes, in some countries the final price might be slightly higher because of taxes, but the base price set by Mob Entertainment has remained unchanged compared to Chapter 4. And this allows us to confidently say that Poppy Playtime Chapter 5 will not have a price increase compared to the previous chapter.
That's good.
Now let's move on to a specific
Sorry, I
part
thought
of the
the video
game's
was
official
over.
description. If we carefully read the description of Poppy Playtime Chapter 5, we find an expression that had already sparked a lot of discussion in our previous videos: tortured denizens. In earlier videos, we came up with several theories about who these tortured denizens could be. We wondered whether they were new creatures, forgotten experiments, or something even more disturbing. Now, however, we have much more concrete confirmations. In the official trailer, we discovered that we will meet a new character, Giblet. This is a mascot created from various patched-together pieces, clearly assembled from different parts. From what we saw in the trailer, Giblet appears to be on our side, so he will most likely be an ally, or at least a character who does not attack us directly.
He could turn on us, though.
The name Giblet is no longer just a theory. It has been confirmed by his voice actor, so now we know with certainty that this will be his official name in the game. We already know that the prototype transformed many people into mascots through experiments, but these mascota have the bodies assembled from different pieces. Mascots created by merging parts of other mascots in what seems almost like an industrial process. Then in that last ARG video, we saw that Preston was transformed into a mascot with Catbee's head and other pieces from different mascots. When we put all these elements together, the picture becomes much clearer. The tortured denizens mentioned in the description do not seem to be random new monsters. They could be people transformed into mascots by the prototype during his experiments, creatures born from manipulation, and the forced fusion of different bodies and identities. We are at the ending of this video. Thank you so much for watching this video.
You're welcome. And I suppose I could subscribe to him. Right. So, as far as we know, that's pretty much all the information we can gather at the moment. So, I don't know whether to be excited or not, but I will say this. The Poppy Playtime drama, it's really getting out of hand. I just don't understand. Do we really have any say if this is supposed to be right or wrong or anything? Because everything that they're just describing just proves the point that people can never be happy. But hey, I guess you win some, you lose some. Well, either way, guys, that's it for tonight. Sorry that this couldn't have been more interesting or anything, but I had fun, and thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all.